Alright then my friends, so we've got the functionality of this app down to a T, so we can do all kinds of magic inside it. However, at the minute it's looking very much like a program developed by a server-side programmer who doesn't know any CSS at all. So let's try our best to rectify that and just make this look a little bit better. So let's head over to the code. And we can see this is the root app, and we have this div right here with an ID of main. So let's grab that first of all and style up that one. So we'll go into index.css, and this is where we can add all of our CSS for this project. The first thing I'd like to do then is get that main ID, and we'll style the h1 inside it, and we'll say color is going to be 444, and then text align is going to be center. So basically 444 is kind of a deep gray, and we're just putting it to the center as well. Next we'll take the main container itself, not the h1 inside it. We'll give it a padding of 0 pixels, and then we'll give it a box sizing of border hyphen box. That just basically takes into consideration the padding and the border when it works out the width of something, and then the width is going to be set to 60% of the screen, and the height is going to be 100%. Alright, so we have the main thing sorted. Let's save this and view it in a browser. Probably not going to look that much different, to be honest, at the minute. Okay, no, nothing much ado here, but anyway, it's getting there. So let's go back into this. The next thing I'd like to do is style up that book list. So let's take a look at this. We have down here an ID of book list. We have a UL inside it and LIs inside that. So let's style up those bad boys. We'll say book list first of all, and that's going to have a padding of 0, and then after that we'll do the LI tags inside the book list. So book list LI, and then underneath that we want to display each one as inline block. That's going to place them next to each other rather than just one on top of the other. The margin is going to be around 12 pixels each way around. The padding, about 10 pixels, and then the border radius rather, is going to be about 4 pixels, just to give it a kind of softer feel. The border itself is going to be 1 pixel in width. It's going to be solid, and it's going to be a color, which is kind of like a pinky color, which is 88, then 0E, then 4F. All right, so after we've done that, let's give this a box shadow just to lift it out of the page and give it a bit of depth. So the box shadow is going to be 1 pixel, 2 pixel, 3 pixel. Then we'll use RGBA, so we have an alpha channel, and we can set the opacity 000, and then 0.3 for the opacity. So it's like a kind of black box shadow, but only semi-transparent, okay? So the cursor is going to be as well a pointer, because when a user hovers over a book, I want them to know they can click it, and I want that little hand pointer instead of just an arrow. And then finally, the color of the text inside here is going to be the same as the border, which is 880EF, or was it 4F? Yep, 4F. Cool. All right then, so are we done? Something's gone wrong here. Oh, we need the semicolon at the end. Cool. So let's save that and take a look in a browser again. All right, starting to look a little bit better now. I'm zoomed into hex. Let's zoom out a little bit, go to 150 or even 125%. Okay, so we can start to see these are looking a little bit better now. So we need to style up as well the form. So let's do that next. We'll go back into our CSS and target the form. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room. So the form is next. Now this form is going to have a background of white, so it stands out a little bit on the page. Now don't do what I've done and do everything in capitals, because just not good at all. We'll do background of FFF, so that's white, it stands out on the page. The padding is going to be about 20 pixels. The position is going to be fixed because it's going to be fixed in the bottom left of the screen. So I want it to stay there. So left is going to be 0 and bottom is also going to be 0. Sweet. The width of the form, I'm just going to set to 400 pixels for now. All right, so now we can style each field inside the form. If we look at add book where the form is, we can see we have these different fields, right? And they all have a class name of field. So inside the CSS, we'll say form and then dot field. And inside here, we'll say display grid. and grid template columns is going to be 1 fraction and 1 fraction again. So that's for the label and the input box. Now, if you're unsure on CSS Grid, I've got a whole playlist on CSS Grid. I'm not going to spend this video explaining the nuances of it. Go and check that out if you want to. I'll leave the link down below. So also, we're going to give this a grid gap of around 10 pixels. That just means there's a 10 pixel gap between each column, if you like, and row. So now we've done the fields, let's style up the labels. We'll say form label, and this is going to have a text align property of right, so it's going to scoot over to the right for the label, and a padding of 6 pixels, something like that. Let's just see how it's looking at the minute. Go over here. All right, looking okay. So this is the grid and the text align in place. We have the form fields on the right and we have the labels on the left, but text aligned to the right. So it's starting to look a little bit better already. If I go back now to the code, we can carry this on. So I'd like to also style up the select and the input fields. So we'll say form select and form input, like so. And inside here, I'd like to say the margin of each one is going to be 4 pixels. The padding is going to be around 6 pixels. And the box sizing is going to be border box. All right, cool. Now we want to style up that button on the bottom left down here. Okay, we want to make it look a little more poppy and stand out. So let us make some space again and say form button. And this is going to have a color of white, so that's the text inside it, so FFF. The font size is going to be 2 M's, and the background is going to be kind of like a pinky color, and the hex code for that is AD1457. Cool. All right, now we want a border of 0 on the button itself. The padding is going to be 0 top and bottom, but 10 pixels left and right. The border radius is going to be 50%, and what that does is turn it into a circle. When the border radius is 50% or more of something, it's going to turn it into a circle, right? So, or if it allows to be a circle, if it's small enough to be a circle, that is. So the cursor is going to be a pointer, so we know we can click it. The position is going to be absolute, and then the bottom is going to be 10 pixels, so it's going to shift up a little bit from the bottom and also from the left as well, 10 pixels. So let's have a look at that button right now, see what it looks like. All right, cool, so it's looking a bit better now. Let me just zoom in a little. All right, here we go. Take that off. So this is looking pretty good so far. We have now the form sorted, we have the list of books down here sorted. I suppose all we need to do now is style up this thing so it's some kind of panel on the right. So let us go back to the code and do that. If we go to book details, we can see that this has an ID of book-details. So let's use that. We'll copy it and we'll paste it over here. All right, so book details. Now the position of this thing is going to be fixed on the right-hand side. So we'll say top is 0, so it's flush to the top, and right is also 0, so it's flush to the right. The width is going to be 40%. And the height is going to be 100%. All right. So we have the content on the left, which is 60% in width, I think. Let me just check. Yep. The main is 60% in width. Then we have this on the right, which is going to be 40% in width. Makes sense? The height is 100%. So hopefully it's going to take up the whole height of the screen. All right. So the background of this is going to be kind of like a pink color. So we'll use that same hex code that we used for the button right here. So let me just copy that and paste it down here. All right, the padding, we'll say about 30 pixels. The overflow is going to be auto, so we're going to scroll back if it flows over the initial height. The box shadow is going to be -2 pixels because we want to scoot it out to the left, -3 pixels and 5 pixels, and RGBA, so we have an alpha channel as well. Again, we'll do 0, 0, 0, which is black, and 0.3 for the opacity. All right. Then we want a box-sizing of border box. And then finally, the color of the text inside is going to be white. Woo! Oh my God. So that was a lot of CSS to cram into what is about 7 or 8 minutes. So at the minute we can see no book selected. If we select a book, now we can see all the book details on the right. All right. So let's just try adding one more book. My Great Book. This doesn't exist. Genre. Let's do something else. Let's do horror. And then we'll just assign this one to Brandon Sanderson for the hell of it. Okay, so now we can see My Great Book is here. If we click on that, we get details about that book as well. Awesome. So my friends, there we go. That is your tour into GraphQL over. I hope you've enjoyed this series and you've garnered some kind of useful information from it. If you do like these videos, my friends, please do not forget to share, subscribe and like, and I'm going to see you in the very next tutorial series.